So, you think you know Africa? Think again. Let's talk about Angola, the country you probably couldn't find on a map if your life depended on it. No, seriously. I'll wait. Go ahead, open Google Maps. See? It's that big one on the southwestern coast, right below the Democratic Republic of Congo. For all you travel lovers in the USA, who are probably scrolling through the same 5 European destinations for your next authentic getaway, I'm here to offer you something a little different. Something that will make your friends say, wow, you're so adventurous, which is just a polite way of saying, you're insane. We're about to dive into a country that's more than just a headline you vaguely remember from a history class you slept through. Angola is a place of staggering contrasts, mind-blowing landscapes, and a history so complex it makes your family Thanksgiving dinner look like a peaceful negotiation. It's a land of incredible wealth and deep scars, a place where the rhythm of life is as powerful as the waterfalls we're going to talk about. And we're going to do it all with a killer soundtrack, because I've curated the perfect playlist on YouTube Music to get us in the mood. It's full of Angolan beats that will make you want to move, even if you have the rhythm of a startled flamingo. So buckle up, my American friends. Forget everything you thought you knew about Africa, because most of it is probably wrong anyway. We're going on a journey to a place that will challenge your perceptions, empty your wallet, and maybe, just maybe, make you see the world a little differently. This isn't your typical travel guide. Let's start with the basics, because I know you appreciate simplicity. Angola is big, like really, really big. It's the 7th largest country in Africa. Africa is so massive you could fit the United States, China, most of Europe. So when we say 7th largest in Africa, we're talking serious real estate. To put it in terms my American friends can understand, because size matters, right? Angola is so big you could fit Texas inside it. Big hats, big trucks, big everything. You could drive for days and still be in Angola. Arid, almost desert-like coast sprawling, chaotic cities, misty highlands, dense, humid rainforests of the north. The sheer scale is hard to comprehend. It's not like driving from New York to Boston. It's like driving to a completely different New York with a different climate. This country has 1,600 kilometers of coastline. Beaches, cliffs, fishing villages. That's more coastline than California. Yes, you heard me. Angola is outbeaching California. All that space isn't empty. It's filled with a diversity of landscapes. Now that we've established that Angola is huge, let's talk about its capital city, Luanda. And let me tell you, Luanda is not playing around. For years, this city has consistently ranked as one of the most expensive cities in the world for expatriates. Yes, you heard that right. Forget Paris or New York. Luanda is where your wallet goes to cry. You think your rent is high? Try finding a decent apartment in Luanda. You might have to sell a kidney, or, have an oil company footing the bill, which is what most of the expats there do. It's a city built on oil money, and it shows in the price tags. Imagine this. You walk into a simple, unassuming grocery store to buy some imported cheese and a box of cereal. You get to the checkout, and the cashier tells you the total. You laugh, thinking it's a joke. The cashier doesn't laugh. You look at the price again. Suddenly, that box of cornflakes costs more than a fancy dinner back home. This is the Luanda experience. A simple lunch can set you back $100. A hotel room? Let's just say you'll be questioning all your life choices. It's a city of shocking economic paradoxes where extreme wealth and deep poverty live side by side, often separated by just a single wall. But why is it so expensive? Well, it's a classic case of supply and demand on steroids. Decades of civil war destroyed the country's infrastructure and farming. So almost everything, from apples to iPhones, has to be imported. To understand modern Angola, you have to understand its past. And that past is long, complicated, overwhelmingly Portuguese. Angola was a Portuguese colony for over 400 years. Let that sink in. 400 years. That's longer than the United States has been a country. It started in the 15th century. Portuguese explorers first landed on the coast. They were looking for gold. They were looking for a sea route to India. What they found instead was a powerful kingdom. What they also found was, tragically, a source for the transatlantic slave trade. That trade would devastate the region for centuries. This wasn't a short-term visit. The Portuguese didn't just set up a few trading posts and leave. They stayed. They integrated. They imposed their language. They imposed their religion. They imposed their architecture. For centuries, Angola was considered an overseas province of Portugal. This created a deep, complex, and often painful relationship between the two places. It wasn't a simple case of oppressor and oppressed. It was a tangled web of shared history, culture, bloodlines. That web continues to define both countries today. So, after 400 years of Portugal being a big deal there, let's chat about language for a bit. If you're an American visitor who always just talks louder and slower in English until someone gets it, well, I've got some not-so-good news for you in Angola. The main language there is Portuguese. And I don't mean just a few folks speak it. I mean it's the language for the government, for businesses, for school, and for everyday life for tons of people. So if you thought you'd be fine with English, good luck trying to order a coffee. You might end up with a live chicken. I don't know, my Portuguese isn't that great either. Now this is super interesting because Angola is one of only 6 countries in Africa where Portuguese is the main language. They're called the PALOP countries. But here's the cool part. Even though Portuguese is the main language, it's not the only one. Not even close. Angola has many local languages, like Umbundu, Kimbundu, and Kikongo. In many country areas, these are the languages people speak at home, the languages their grandparents spoke. So you have this amazing mix of languages where people might switch between their local language and Portuguese many times in just one talk. For someone traveling, this is both a bit tough and a chance to learn. The tough part is clear. You'll feel a bit confused sometimes, but the chance is to try something new. Learn a few simple phrases in Portuguese. Bom dia for good morning. Obrigado if you're a guy. Obrigada if you're a lady for thank you. Uma cerveja, por favor, for a beer please. That one is super important. Let's talk about what makes Luanda so expensive and, honestly, what has shaped Angola's modern story more than anything else. Natural resources. Angola is rich. Not just, oh, they have some nice stuff rich. I mean, mind-bogglingly, geopolitically significant rich. The country is swimming in oil. And diamonds. It's basically the Beverly Hills of Africa, minus the reality TV shows, so far. I'm telling you, The Real Housewives of Luanda is a show that needs to happen. The drama would be incredible. Angola is the second largest oil producer in sub-Saharan Africa, right after Nigeria. This black gold is found mostly offshore, in the deep waters of the Atlantic. It's the engine of the economy. It builds skyscrapers, pays for imports, attracts foreign investment. And then there are the diamonds. Angola is also one of the world's top diamond producers. These aren't just any diamonds. They are high-quality gems mined from the country's northeast. For a long time, these were blood diamonds, fueling the brutal civil war. Now, the industry is regulated, but the legacy of that time still lingers. It's a reminder that the world's most beautiful things can sometimes come from its darkest places. But here's the thing about being resource-rich. It's a blessing and a curse. It can bring immense wealth, but it can also lead to corruption, inequality, and an over-reliance on a single industry. When oil prices are high, Angola booms. When they crash, the whole country feels the pain. This is the famous resource curse, and Angola is a textbook example. The challenge for the country now is to use that oil and diamond wealth to diversify its economy, to invest in agriculture technology and tourism, to build a future that isn't dependent on what you can pull out of the ground. Extra quick montage. Farming, fishing, textile making. It's a high-stakes game, and the whole world is watching.